Hey guys, what's up? It's Sunny Boy again, and I'm bringing you guys another video. This time we're playing some Dark Souls 3. So, I've never actually played any of the Dark Souls games ever. Never once in my life. So, I was at GameStop the other day, and I saw they had the Definitive Edition or the Collector's Edition, whatever it was, for like, and because I'm an Elite Pro member or whatever, I got it for like 20 bucks. So I was like, alright, let me try it out. If I don't like it, I'll just return it. No biggie. So, conclusion, this game's really hard. Like, really hard out of the box. This game is unforgiving. This game does not give a fuck about who you are. Does not care what previous games you have played. Does not care how good or bad you are. It will just treat you like the little piece of shit you are and remind you. Oh, there's the noob move for me. So, these are going to be some clips of me playing the first boss. I think I eventually got to the second or third boss, and I kind of gave up on the game. I kind of bitched out. Not that I couldn't beat stuff. I know you can figure out things, and basically you have to learn how to play each boss. So, I'm going to give my review of Dark Souls 3. Even though I didn't finish it, I got to like the third boss, so I thought I'd just get it over with. So, this game is very good. It is just straight skill. You just have to be good. You have to understand when to do certain things, how to do certain things, and why to do certain things. And because of that, it's a huge appeal to a lot of people. But because of that super high skill gap between just a regular player and someone who loves hardcore games like these, you get very fractured opinions. You get the hardcore, high skill level people that love this game. Like, they're like, because it gives them something to grind, something to try and play and keep going at until they finally beat it. And then when they finally beat it, they're like, yes! And there I go dying. I landed like, what, 2 hits on them? So I'm just sitting here just like, the fuck? How do you kill this guy? But, you know, after you try and try and try, you eventually figure out how the moves. And this wasn't the game being stupid hard. It is hard. But the fact of me not understanding the mechanics of the game, understanding how to dodge, how to move around, how to lock on the targets. So this is, I would chalk up all of these deaths to lack of experience. Now, back to the game itself. I think it's a great game. It looks very cinematic-y. The artwork looks good. For playing on Xbox One and PS4, just console experience of it, it's fun, but I don't think it's that great due to it doesn't look as great on the consoles in my opinion. I mean, that could just be the fact that I have a 4K gaming PC with a 4K monitor and I can play it 4K, ultra, everything. So basically anything below 4K now is just horrible looking to me, which is probably the reason. But honestly, when I was playing it, it seemed slow to me. It seemed kind of sluggish. It didn't seem terribly optimized, but that, like I said, that could just be me. I'm so used to, like, you know, 4K, everything over 60 FPS, no problem whatsoever. And here, I think I'm just trying to figure out the different, like, tumble effects, how to dodge, but so let's get back into it. I keep stepping off and talking about other things, but cinematic experience is breathtaking. Like, you actually feel like you're in this world. The story at the beginning is very confusing. It's not very straightforward to me. That's probably because I haven't played Dark Souls 1 or 2, and it's probably building off those games, so that's understandable. But the bosses, oh my god, the bosses look so amazing. They're so cool, and I don't know honestly what to say. I think they're just amazing. They're done perfectly fine. They're what you expect like bosses to be. They should be tough. They should have mechanics to them. Especially with this first guy. Like, you kill him, and then halfway through, he shifts into like this half knight, has demonic dragon creature thing. And I'm just looking at this going, what the ever living fuck is that? And then I'm like, okay, how do I beat that? Like, how do you physically beat this thing? I was like, he's got up close with the sword and all that. Now he's got range with this, you know, arm claw thing, and then, you know, this fucking thing. I have a clip to show basically how this felt like to me after I died. I mean, it's literally like that Hulk smashing Loki. Here you go.
What have you beneath me? I am a god, you dull creature, and I will not be bullied by that.
That's me getting slammed back and forth by that dude. Mm-hmm. That's exactly how I felt. I thought I was a big, badass guy coming in like, look, I've beaten a ton of games before, and no. And here's just going to be a montage of fucking deaths. Like, I was just like, okay. I was like, let me heal. And just bam. Bam. Like, I was just the whole time like, what the fuck? So, I appreciate the high skill gap of this game and the dedication and grind you have to put in to get it. But I also can see why a lot of casual players and people in general just don't like it. It feels more like work. In some games, it works. In some games, that is okay, and it works with the system and the design philosophy of the game. For this, it actually works, and I like it. It's just, my thing is, when I'm starting at that point where I want to play video games, I don't want to enjoy them. I don't mind grinding and trying hard, but this damn deer took me like, I'd say about an hour and a half to beat this dude. And I was like, this is the first damn boss. So, here's my final attempt. You know, I cut out a few deaths, but, you know, add like 6 more deaths to what I showed you. So, I finally am able to beat him. I finally figured out the targeting and how to block. So, the whole time I was like, can I block his shots? I don't know if in the previous death scenes if I blocked him. So, I finally realized how to target on to him. Finally figured out how to block his hits. I didn't know you could block his hits. I had no clue. Like, I finally figured out how to dodge his strikes and his charges a little bit. And like, once you start figuring out the boss, then it was like, I was like, you know, I got hit a few times, but like, you know, I was able to block. I was like, oh shit, you can actually block his hits. I just assumed it was just dodge, dodge, dodge. But you can actually like engage in combat with him to a certain extent. And I enjoy this process of figuring out how to beat a boss. Because bosses shouldn't be super easy. They should have to have some kind of a skill gap that only X amount of players can be able to beat. Which I understand they didn't want, they just wanted that. I think they should have put a difficulty bar or something in it for people who just want to play the game for the experience. I feel like that might be a better approach, but then some people would be like, well, then you're catering to casuals. But it's like, it helps to have casual audiences, and generally, because then it allows you to sell more copies. Kind of what Destiny 2 is doing. They're catering to a more casual audience, but I think they catered a little too casually and then pissed off a lot of the hardcore players or people that were coming back from the first game. So, there's a lot of things that are very done well with this game. Like, cinematics, amazing. Boss fights, amazing. And here I'm like, holy shit, I used only 1 potion and I killed him? I'm going fucking nuts, because I was like legitimately, guys, I was playing this for like hour and a half, 2 hours. So, when I finally beat the boss, I just was like, oh my fucking god, yes! So, you can see why I'm just like freaking out, running in circles. I'm like telling my brother, look, 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 I just beat the first fucking boss. And he goes, I got like no sympathy from him, so. But, I might eventually pick this up on PC, because I think it would be a better experience for me to play it on PC. So, I'm not too sure. I don't know what you guys think of the game. I think it's a pretty well game. I haven't delved deep enough into the game to understand the full mechanics of like armor and leveling. That was the other thing that was odd. Like, I started out like level 9, like off the base level. So, I was quite confused. I think it was just, I jumped into Dark Souls 3 without playing 1 or 2, and it just didn't feel natural to me. So, it's a decent game. I think I'm just looking around for shit to see if there's any extra items, because people said there's items like all over the ground that people never notice. I never understood what those bloodstains did, or did they just show you what not to do? So, but I don't know. So there's my review of Dark Souls 1's or Dark Souls 3's first boss and a general idea of what I think of the game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. You know, comment, rate, subscribe, all that. Have a sunny day. Peace out.